I can see what you're saying, because I think that people will be, one way or another with this because of the nature of this film. But I didn't think it, I some things where you say it's lazy, some things I thought they did very well. Like I thought the action was done well. And listen, at times I was like, damn, this is violent. Again, the name is in the title, so nothing surprising there. But this is slasher level violence right here. I mean, we're on a horror movie level of violence with this. Violent night, deadly night, all is dead. Oh, I ain't got no more. Okay. I ain't got no more, but we're not here to sing anyway. We're not here to sing at all. We're here to talk about this movie, Violent Night. Now, before we get into it, it has been argued for years. There's been a debate going on for years about a little movie that's out there that you might know.
Terrorists have declared war.
But I'm telling you, you're just gonna have to kill me. Okay.
Don't ever say that to terrorists. Don't ever say it when people break in with guns who are ready to kill you.
Yeah.
But of course, you recognize that for people who are listening by the sound. If you're watching this, you definitely recognize that face as Bruce Willis in Die Hard. And it has been argued for years whether this is or is not a Christmas movie. The debate still continues. Where do you stand on this? So you can't even make up your mind right now.
I'm on the fence.
You on the fence?
I'll go either way. Does it really matter?
That's a cop-out. It does matter. It matters.
Okay. Well,
it matters to a lot of people out there.
During Christmas time, then yes, it's the Christmas.
Okay. All right. But then there's some people who are saying you are full of shit, madam.
Well, then,
respectfully.
You know what they can do with that.
What? You have?
They won't do it unless you tell them.
I was debating how to answer that question. I wasn't expecting that question.
They're like, yeah, what can I do?
Check my give a shit meter.
Okay, there you go. And I'm looking at some people in the chat talking about it's not. Some people saying it's are. See, people, there's no peace to be had with this. So that's why you got these other people who said, you know what, I'm just gonna go out and to help things out. I don't know if it's going to settle anything, but to help things out, we're just going to remake Die Hard. Nice. And yet we're going to remake Die Hard to where no one can argue. No question at all that this is a Christmas movie. We're going to take Die Hard, put it in a mansion, take out Bruce Willis, throw in Santa Claus right here, have him kill people with all kind of candy canes and ornaments and other Christmas themed things, and boom. Definitely, without any argument, a Christmas movie.
Absolutely. Even the villains have Christmas names.
Even the villains have Christmas names. Jolly old Saint Nick is not so jolly these days. He's just like now he's like the rest of us, just cynical about Christmas. Can't stand it. He's soured on the whole experience now, and he's the one doing all the work, and that's the problem. Today no one believes anymore. People are greedy. I'm thinking about what they get. And on top of that, his latest delivery has brought him to a mansion of a rich family who are being held hostage by terrorists who have clearly lost the Christmas spirit. And on top of that, he wasn't even supposed to really be there that long, because of circumstances, stranded, and just wants to go home. He just wants to finish delivering his shift.
Right.
And go home.
And get back home.
But these terrorists have other plans, such as killing him, because he wasn't supposed to be there anyway. Santa's already mad. Santa's already pissed off.
And tired.
Drunk. Mm-hmm. He don't want to deal with this shit. People, this is the wrong night to get on Santa's nerves and on his naughty list. Because little did you know, yeah, he's fat and he's jolly and he eats cookies all the time and ho, ho, ho and a hee, hee, hee and all that kind of stuff. But Santa's also kind of a badass. And if you didn't know, well, like these terrorists, you're about to find out. But is he badass enough to make this movie any good? Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Violent Night, and we'll be back with our reviews.
Are you going to help us, Santa?
Yeah, Trudy.
Santa?
You're on my nice list.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
if your idea of Christmas or a Christmas movie is peace on earth and goodwill towards man, then this might not be your movie. You know, if you're looking for peace, you are in the wrong place, which actually is not true. There's a piece of him over there, a little piece of somebody over there. I think there's a head over there. You know, it's a people. Normally I would be a smart ass and sit up here and say that, if anybody going in here and looking for sweetness and whatnot, come on, the movie's called Violent Night. The title lays it out there. What the hell did you expect? But that's the thing. The title really does not lay it out there. Not completely. Now, if this was called A Very Violent Night, then yes, that would probably be more accurate.
That's true.
Find out very soon how violent it is.
I mean, even with this movie called Violent Night, I did not expect the level of violence that I saw in this movie right here, man. But here's the other thing with this besides the violence. It's also very ugly at times, also very mean-spirited. Some of you just got back from Thanksgiving and you're like, whoa, I'm glad to be away from that family right there. No, your family, they're fine because they're poor. With billionaires, now those are some shitty people.
Sure.
It's almost like the more money you got, the more you can afford to be a shitty person.
Yeah. After a while, the money's not doing you any good.
No, so all you can do is just demean people, just to have some sense of power, man. And and that's what we have here, man. This family, not these two really, but the rest of this family that you're going to see in this trailer right here. They're called the Lightstones. They're mostly ruthless, self-centered, and selfish ass people, man. In this family, you have a spoiled daughter. And you can see them all right here. I'll just leave it on this frame right here so you can see some of these people. And I'll point them out little by little right here, one by one. You got this really spoiled daughter, Alva, who's played by Dee Patterson.
Edie.
What's her name? Edie Patterson. This is her husband over here, Morgan, who's, he's an actor. And he's about as self-centered and egotistical as actors can be. And also a coward. This is their fake-ass influencer wannabe son that they had back here. Right, and who looks like, he got that influencer hair and everything.
Sure, and the cap.
Yeah, and the cap. You'd see kids like that and you immediately say, I hate them.
Right. Yeah, I just want to smack the phone out of their hands.
Yeah, you do, man. You do. And Mama Lightstone over here, played by Beverly D'Angelo, she's the heiress of this family here, who she just loves berating people on business calls, especially on Christmas Eve.
Well, she's rich, so she can get away with it.
Exactly.
And manipulate her kids.
But you know what? I gotta tell you, she's good at it.
Yeah, she's a boss.
She told somebody on the phone. She said, "Do not shit in my mouth and tell me it's chocolate." I was like, "Damn, that's good." I don't like the visuals put in my head, but I was like, "Damn, that's pretty good." She's
it with Merry Christmas.
Yeah, she's an asshole, but she sure did. Oh, and by the way, Merry Christmas, bitch. Yeah, man. Hey, she's an asshole, but she's good at it. She's very creative. But the thing is, when they all get together, that's when they really bring the ugliness out. Just, who's going to be next in line for the business? Who's going to get what money? Let's see who can suck up to mom the best.
Right. Vying for her good favor.
Except for Jason Lightstone, the son, Alex Hassel, and his wife, Linda, played by Alexis Louder. And that's their daughter, Trudy, back there. And they're the nice ones right there. And even they are having some problems in their relationships. So, nothing is really rosy around here with these people. But, you look at this and you say, well, you know what? Okay, maybe this couple and the kid, they're okay. But for everybody else, you know what? Santa's going to come in and he's going to teach the rest of them a good Christmas lesson. He's going to teach them about being kindness and selfless.
The magic of Christmas and what it's really all about. He's going to be like Linus. He's going to turn out the light and have a spotlight on him and tell him the real meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, people. No, hell no. Why? Because Santa's at the bar getting up right now.
You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the reindeer do most of the work.
Man, kiss my ass. I love how Santa, the real Santa, is just in public. Just find a little small bar and just drinking and getting shit-faced in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's like someplace in Australia.
I think it's London, because they said it was a little pub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Their accents sound awesome.
Maybe it is, yeah. I don't know. You know me and accents. I can't do one.
We're in Birmingham, England.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I remember that because I've been there. I was like, I've been there.
Oh, do you see Santa when you?
No, I didn't.
Hey, he barfed on me.
Hey, you're Renee. You're the
Just for that, you go on the naughty list.
Yeah. You ain't getting shit. Hit you with a queasy. The greed that has surrounded Christmas, this version of Santa, the greed that surrounded Christmas at this point has just got him getting wasted in bars now, pissing and vomiting from his sleigh, some of it splashing on people. At this point, being Santa is just another job. And like most people have been at that job too long, he's starting to hate it. He could care less about people at this point.
Yeah, no matter how much you like a job, one day you wake up and it's just a job.
Yep.
And you don't want to go to it.
It might take 1,000 years, but one day, at this point, he just wants to drop off these gifts, go home, and have sex with Mrs. Claus, and that is it. And of course, we got the cold-blooded killers who are coming in and taking over the mansion and really bringing everybody's Christmas spirit down.
Yeah, the worst thing they're doing is bringing down the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, that's not right. They could have waited another night to do this. Why Christmas? Why? But needless to say, this is a nasty and mean and bloody and violent movie. Kind of like Real Christmas. This is why I get people to shop for me and give me things.
Honestly, like they were saying, like now in the last couple of years, because of online shopping, those days, that's a thing of the past.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing of the past because they don't let people do it anymore. Those assholes are still the same people. They're animals. This movie might change your mind about that. At least if you feel like me, not everyone's going to like this movie, but I have fun with this movie. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. That's Die Hard. I love Die Hard.
I hadn't laughed out loud that much in a film in a while. It was very...
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, man. It's got problems for sure. Probably, and a lot of those problems that I said are going to be about personal preference, I think. Mm-hmm. Not everybody wants to see a dark, violent movie like this about Christmas, during Christmas. And I get that. I understand that completely, man. Also, it doesn't deliver much outside of its premise. It's Die Hard in a mansion with Santa Claus replacing Bruce Willis, with a sprinkle of Home Alone in there. But I like that they keep it simple. I think it's more spoofing those movies, Die Hard and Home Alone, and even in a way just kind of take an exaggerated look at the cynicism of Christmas.
Well, you know what? The thing is, I always used to think, like, I just don't like Christmas movies because they're kind of like horror movies. Like, they just don't try that hard. They're like, oh, we just throw a little Christmas and sentimentality and everything works out. But in the last few years, there's been some smarter Christmas movies, or even some that are, kind of satirical. And so I've been, enjoying them a lot more.
Yeah.
This is not one of those.
I knew you were going to say that. I can tell by your tone where you're going.
I was just not... I'm not feeling this movie at all. I just could not stand how utterly lazy it was. Every joke in it is either telegraphed or it's from something else. I was just like, can it just end already?
Yes, I am the complete opposite of that then, man. I think there was you say lazy, and I could probably see some of that with the humor. Like I said, I thought that this was spoofing these movies, so that's probably why I didn't see.
It kind of was, but then, like, usually you do a spoof, and it either ties really into, like, hey, remember this? But it was so like, remember this? Remember how funny that was? Well, we just showed you that again.
I can see what you're saying, because I think that people will be, one way or another with this because of the nature of this film. But I didn't think it, I some things where you say it's lazy, some things I thought they did very well. Like, I thought the action was done well. And listen, at times, I was like, damn, this is violent. Again, the name is in the title, so nothing surprising there. But this is slasher level violence right here. I mean, we're on a horror movie level of violence with this. But I still thought that while the violence was brutal, it was still creative. It kind of reminded me of an Edgar Wright movie, probably more specifically Hot Fuzz.
3 people have died in a week.
Accidents happen all the time. What makes you think it was murder?
You're saying this wasn't an accident?
That's a movie that's really violent, but, the edge is taken off of it a little bit because of the humor. The violence is so crazy and extreme that it's almost a part of the humor. And that's the way I saw this film right here. It is over the top violent. It is gory at times, but again, it's like extreme because this is part of the movie's sense of humor. Very dark sense of humor, but it is part of the sense of humor right there. I even thought that the fight choreography, was mostly done for laughs, but still done well. I thought that, they could have been that they're treating this movie as a joke. No one's supposed to be taking this movie seriously at all. I thought that they went in and said, well, that doesn't mean that we have to skim back on the action. Let's go ahead and take that seriously. I thought the fight choreography was actually pretty good while also being funny. I mean, it's almost Three Stooges level, except when people, get their eyes gouged, their eyes actually bleed and gouge out. People get hurt, people die. And I also like it because mostly Santa's getting his ass kicked through this, man.
Yeah, I know. They make it seem like he's such a badass and he's getting his ass kicked mostly. And then out of nowhere, he gets his super strength. I was like, all right, it's one of those.
No, I thought, what I saw was like first of all, he didn't want to be there. He wanted to just leave. He didn't know what he was getting into. And he's drunk. When he's down there, at first he's drunk and he probably had to sober up a little bit. But, he's confused and I like that they didn't make Santa this badass that's going around kicking everybody's ass, man. I like that he actually was getting beat down in this early. It actually made it look like, hey, there's some real stakes here. I believe at any moment that Santa, he probably might be able to get taken down or killed.
You don't want to do this.
What?
No.
And I actually like that part there with the reindeer said, this. It just left him behind, which was a good explanation for why he stayed behind and couldn't leave. So, they did take parts in the story, I thought, where they just, had explanations and good explanations for why things were kind of happening. Renee, we haven't let you speak yet. Why don't you speak your mind?
Okay, thanks. I take your point about the humor in it, the writing humor, but I realized that after thinking about that I agree with you in that I did laugh at some of the quips and the one-liners, especially the one about when he pulls another package out of his bag and he says, oh, look, it's a Die Hard DVD. And then I laughed at that. But it was more the action humor.
Wait a minute, how are you agreeing with him and he didn't like the humor? And you
No. The written humor, the vocal humor. I'm talking about then the action humor, which is the way they killed the people and how they did all the...
Okay.
That's what I laughed at more than the actual written stuff. I just realized that after you just made that comment. But I enjoyed it overall. Yeah, I thought it was a fun ride. I really liked it.
I'm
glad that they went there and that they, like you said, literally put Santa in it. Let's make no joke about what where this is coming from. And I thought that when they showed that first scene where he stopped the guy, hitting him in the head, that if the entire rest of the movie was going to be him kicking everybody else's butt, like you said, but it wasn't. It was much more back and forth, and I like that. So that would have been boring.
Yeah, I liked it. Made him vulnerable in the beginning.
Yes.
Really, he's reluctant. He's not a badass. He's just like, look, like I said, I've been drinking. I'm right now. I just want to finish my job and go home. He's almost like Jackie Chan. It's just like, hey, please, no, I don't fight. But then he turns around and ends up beating your ass. I want no trouble. Yeah, I want no trouble, please.
Yeah. And I thought it was funny too the way that they referenced Home Alone gags. But I don't remember anybody being killed in Home Alone.
Yeah, but anyways. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. I like attitude. You say, look, I'm just real mellow. Just like to go see movies and take it for what they are.
I don't research them. I only watch the trailer. I don't go look and see who says what about what. I want to go see it the way it is.
Damn, you act like you watch movies on Diet Smoke. You just lay back, real mellow.
I was ready for you this time.
but she was not. You were the perfect candidate to try some Diet Smoke while watching a movie, although you're already mellow as it is. Here's the great thing about Diet Smoke. Diet Smoke are these gummies THC gummies. And we used to talk about the Delta 8s because the Delta 8s are the ones that are for people who, they don't handle the hard stuff too well, like myself. I start hanging with Mary Jane, boy, and she messes me up, man. I can't talk.
She's not your friend.
She's not Mary Jane. I cannot hang with the strong stuff. I can start babbling, not making any sense. Sometimes I can't even stay awake. But I've had these Delta 8 gummies from Diet Smoke. And boy, they have been so nice to me. They have been very good to me. And that was a specialty at one time, the Delta 8s. Now, they sent me some Delta 9s.
Oh, I bought some.
Yeah, I know you were talking about. I was scared.
I just take it and I bite off a little bit.
That's funny. No, man, I took a whole one night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like somebody just coming to blackjack.
The Delta 9s out there, man. And they're just telling you that Diet Smoke is great for all the levels of THC consumers out there. Whether you're experienced with the Delta 9s, and that's what I had. I had the apple cider. Yeah. Ooh, that's good, man.
Oh, I bet.
I'll give you one before you leave, man.
Okay.
Ooh, that apple cider is real good, man. That's the one I opened up, and I got a bunch of other bags in there. But they got other flavors here. But the Delta 9s, man, they're for the experienced people, and the Delta 8s are for the ones who consider yourself some beginners out there. But a little something for everybody.
Okay, I love their mascot.
Yeah, Mr. Smokey right there. Old Smokey. Also, they guarantee the quality of their product. They lab test these, and they are constantly releasing new flavors out there. Blue raspberry is what we had here. Watermelon is what we had at one time. Look at this. Cherry lime, mango, peach, blackberry, watermelon, blue raspberry. Those come in different grades, Delta 9, Delta 8. So they really put these products through the quality test before you get them so that you have a great experience with Diet Smoke, which I have. Diet Smoke is something that sells pretty strong around here, and we tell people to get them because we endorse them so strongly because we love Diet Smoke ourselves. And I think you will too if you haven't had it yet. But we've already had people giving us testimonies. We've had people laid out on the floor taking pictures. No, people giving us videos saying they love Diet Smoke. So that could be you too. So let me see here. So go over here to dietsmoke.com and use the code TOASTED, and you'll get 20% off your order. Once again, I want to thank Diet Smoke very much for sponsoring this portion of the show. I want to thank them for the delicious gummies and the great nights of sleep that they've given me. Mm-hmm. And also, I want to thank all of you for your support out there. All right. Another thing I liked about this movie is I think David Harbour, this is great casting as Santa. Mm-hmm. Perfect casting. Physically, it works because he's burly enough to kind of look strong like a badass, but he's chubby enough to look jolly.
Sure.
It's he has the best of both worlds here. And like I said, when he has to come across as a badass, I buy it. I like his version of it. He drinks, he cusses, he kills, but underneath all of that is still the Santa spirit. He still cares for the kids out there. He still values kindness. Now, some people might not like where the version of this character goes, and I get it, man, because he gets pretty brutal at one point. He's more Punisher than he is Batman. But on the bright side, he only kills people who have it coming.
If they're on the list.
If they're on the list, and you on this list, you've done something terribly wrong. And if you deserve killing, he's willing to give it to you, but only if you deserve it. Plus, also, he just at one point, I can tell you why he started being a badass. He got tired of getting his ass whooped. He sobered up. He's like, I'm sick of this shit. Now, I tried to be cool, because I was just trying to get the hell out. But still, this transition that he does into this relentless killer, that might not work for some people. And I'll tell you, the transition didn't 100% work for me. I agree with you on that. It kind of flipped a little quickly, but it didn't bother me that much, but I did notice it. I do like that they did have an explanation. He's not a badass out of nowhere. They give a little bit of his history explaining, and they don't have to do a whole lot of it, but they do a little bit of history explaining why he is as badass as he is. I also like how this movie has a Home Alone theme to it, because it shows you the real life consequences of those traps that little Kevin set up. It turns out little Kevin was a sociopath, because we always said he would kill somebody.
We've all known that.
Yes.
that was like presenting this movie. I'm like, yeah, you're doing the thing that everybody's been talking about for 20 years.
But they showed it. You always hear about how Kevin, besides things like a robot chicken, you always talk about it, but you never see it. But they show you just how up those traps are that Kevin made, man. Like I said, he was a little murderous sociopath, man, and these people should have died gruesomely.
But it was PG.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I did like John Leguizamo.
I did too.
I liked him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is the lead terrorist here. He's a lead terrorist who goes by, of course, Mr. Scrooge.
Is this our Santa Claus? Well, for tonight, I'm Mr. Scrooge now.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Now, there's one of the few examples of the movie where all the Christmas puns and names and whatnot might be a little bit too on the nose right here with this Christmas theme. That right there. But at the same time, I look at this and I'm like, well, they are parroting action movies. Like I said, this is a spoof. It's not a straight serious action film. So, I can see people being bothered by all the Christmas puns that are going on. But if you show me that you are a parody or a spoof, I can let a little bit of it go. But I will tell you this, John Leguizamo is having a lot of fun playing a villain here, man. It's almost like the older John Leguizamo gets, the cooler he gets.
Yeah, because he's not jumping around acting like a crazy idiot anymore.
He's not the pest.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like old John Leguizamo's kind of cool, man. He's like real cool.
Yeah.
He's not in Tu Wong Fu.
Nah. Well, Tu Wong Fu, I can tell you. You ever seen The Pest?
No.
Oh, shit. We got to watch that one day. We got to get some Diet Smoke and watch The Pest.
Yeah, on Diet Smoke, that's the way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you'll fall asleep in a minute. And I also like the henchmen, man. I like that because these henchmen have a little bit more personality than your average lackey in these movies. What makes it funny is that they get funnier as they start kind of believing that this is the real Santa. Like, oh shit, we're the real guy. I like that with these guys here, man. As I said, man, this is as much of a spoof is as much of a spoof of a Christmas movie as it is a spoof of Die Hard. And you can tell by the goofy musical score that they have here. I can see that annoying some people, because there were times I thought, wow, this really doesn't fit. But at the same time, again, I thought they're parodying a Christmas movie, and also movies like Home Alone by having that specific soundtrack in there or score. So that didn't bother me a whole lot. But just like it takes the action seriously when it's spoofing action movies, it takes its Christmas message seriously. Through all the bloody violence that's in this, there's still a lot of heart in this movie. Especially when Santa was interacting with Trudy, the little girl in the film. That's where it felt like, all right, this is being a true, honest Christmas movie, where this is where they're showing all the kindness. This is where they're showing the hope. That old message of just believe in Santa.
Hello?
Santa?
Well, come on, Trudy. We want to keep it on the nice list,
Can I say butthole then?
It's borderline.
That was Christmas. Let her have the butthole, man. Come on. She ain't gonna be that naughty. She says that. There is an honest Christmas spirit here, I thought, and because it felt like this is the part of the movie where they, even doing like Spielberg movies or kids movies where nobody believes the kid who has this fantastical friend, a creature, or alien, or whatever. She's the only one that believes in Santa, only one that knows Santa's around doing this. Everybody else is doubting Santa, that's the message of it, man. There's an honest Christmas spirit here that's still trying to speak to the child of the adults in the theater. I thought it surprisingly handled a lot of themes very well. Like I said, it has some problems here and there, but I enjoyed it. But I'll let you go ahead and close out things here.
Oh, yeah, no, the adjective I would not use with this is honest. It just borrows from other things and doesn't even put the work in to make it its own. It's just a pastiche of things. Even when you get to the family, we have the crazy cartoon character, sibling and her family, but then the brother is just normal to the point of being completely boring and having nothing going on. I don't know what's going on with Alex Hassel, because every time I see him in something, he makes an impression, and here he makes none whatsoever. Like everything is so underwritten. It's like, oh, well, if we have this here, that's enough. It's everything that happens is just so predictable. It just stops. It's not even funny anymore. You're like, yeah, this is going to happen. Okay, now this. Yes, of course that. All right, sure. John Leguizamo was great. I liked him a lot. I didn't like how they couldn't make up their mind what his motivation was. They just kept bringing in different things. I was like, man, if you guys just could commit to something and really make it work, I'd be cool with that. All right, I know people are going to enjoy it. They were enjoying it. It's silly and it's raunchy. And I don't think the two things really mesh well together. They can. I've seen it done where it meshes well. I just didn't think it happened here. This is just a low rental for me.
Okay, I'm gonna say full price for me, just because I enjoyed it. I really did. Overall, you're right. There were some predictable things and some not, but for the most part. But I was just, like I said, in the mood for this kind of film, and I enjoyed it. So.
Yeah. Now, I will say this to you. I don't know how it would be watching this at home.
Go ahead and call me an asshole.
No, I didn't say. Well, I did inside, but I'm not saying it out loud. But no, I would say this to you. I don't know how. I think I would still like it, but I don't know how it would be if I was watching it by myself. That might be different, but I think that this is an awesome audience movie to watch with people. I mean, because people are laughing, people are having a good time, people who aren't taking it seriously, just having fun. I was kind of feeding off the enthusiasm of the audience that we were with. You go to the Alamo Draft House, have some beers, have some drinks, have some food. This is that type of movie for that type of crowd. So I don't know how I would watch it or how I would feel watching it at home by myself, but I think I would still enjoy it. But yeah, this does have some problems. As I said, there is sometimes a conflict in tone. Listen, I cannot lie, man. I got a lot of laughs. Laughed out loud several times, as you were saying, Renee, and just had a lot of fun with the film, man. And David Harbour, I was just really charmed by the way him and that little girl were acting in the movie, man. If this movie had just been a straight farce and just violence and all that, and that's what they emphasize, I might be a little more harsh on this film. But the fact that they managed to find the heart in all of this is something I was impressed with. That's the good side of me. The old evil side of me, I was laughing at some of those kills, man. Near the end of this movie, Santa kills somebody in one of the most Santa type ways, and I laughed so hard at that.
So did I.
Yeah, I just did. I'm laughing about it now, man. So yeah, I would give this a high matinee, very high matinee. I enjoyed it. And I think I would watch this again if it was on TV. If it was on, and probably enjoy it still. And this, I tell you what, this kind of movie, you just sit back, you put a whole lot of alcohol in that eggnog and sit back and watch.
I was going to say, you're not going to see this on network TV.
Yeah,
and if you do, it's going to be chopped up so much, it's not going to make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so get a little eggnog drunk, know.
Weapons grade eggnog.
Yeah. See, this is why it's good that you and I disagree, because I strongly believe that there are going to be people out there who are justifiably going to feel like you. And it's good that they hear you say this.
There's probably more people who feel your way.
I don't know. I think it could be half. I don't know. I think it's just good to hear somebody like yourself put out, the reasons why you did not like it, because I think there are reasons for other people out there to not enjoy this. So, it's good that we have these different points.
Sure.
So there you go, folks.